Hello and welcome back to the Hudson Gross podcast. I'm your host, Hudson Gross, and today I had a wonderful guest on, Keanu Chan. Keanu is an amazing all-around guy. He plays the drums and kite surfs. He also is an amazing student. He aces like all of his classes. If you haven't noticed already, this is the new setup. It's a lot bigger, a lot better. Also, if you haven't noticed already, this is a new intro music, which is amazing, made by Nicolas Kuhnert, one of my past guests on the show. So if you'd like to check out his episode after this one, of course, it'll be linked in the description. Anyway, without further ado, Keanu Chan. Hey, welcome to the podcast.
Hey,
How's it going?
pretty good. I can't complain. I like the summertime, being out of school.
Yeah, same.
Definitely.
Do you work in it?
No, I don't. I'm a free man. I just do as I please. Not really, but no job.
So we'll start off. Okay. So you keep doing a bunch of cool stuff in the science fair.
Yeah, that's kind of really the main thing that drives me during the school year because school can get annoying, of course. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
It gets tedious. So then doing something that's still I have to use my brain, but then I actually enjoy is really awesome. So I do these science projects. I've done them every year. I go in competitions. And really, I've gone to more medical science fair innovations. So I make these little medical devices, I guess,
Yeah.
and just put hours and hours into it like every week. And sometimes it pays off, but either way, I'm learning something.
So what are some of the
Well, I guess this year's was probably my favorite that I've ever made, and I made this device that helps increase accuracy for spinal surgery. So if you're injecting a needle or putting in a probe to like obliterate a tumor or something like that, I built this little device that you're able to just using some mathematics, some statistics, I was able to make this device really accurate where you kind of just dial this needle so it'd be able to move a needle or whatever it is to inject medicine into the spine, for example. And it did it with very, very good accuracy, like statistically good accuracy, where just it made no error. So
Wow.
that was very exciting because sometimes I'll just spend so much time making some device and then it doesn't work out, then it's kind of sad. But
Yeah. So how did you go about that?
um, like how I came up with it, or just
Well, yeah,
how I
and
built
then
it, and
yeah, all the
yeah, all the steps. So to come up with it, basically, I was just looking at error rates for different, like normal people
Yeah,
do.
as
You
you
look
do,
at
that's what
error rates for surgery, but like the most common back pain surgery, like if you have a herniated disc or something, you'd get a spinal fusion. So basically, you have your spine, and then you just put some metal rods and screws.
Yeah.
But to put the screws in, there's actually a high error rate, even though it's a very common procedure. So I
Okay.
thought maybe there's a way that I could make that error rate go down, which is another thing that I like to think about. And from then, I just started trying to figure out how I would build some device that would be able to guide a needle or guide a screw into the spine. So it doesn't just start from the idea and then all of a sudden I build this amazing prototype.
Yeah.
It was actually like, okay, I want something that can move in the X and Y plane. Well, okay, where could I get that? I'm not going to just build something. So I went on
Yeah.
Amazon and I just looked up XY positioner. So I bought like a microscope part. Like, you know how they have that mechanical stage slide?
Yeah.
I bought that part from Amazon, attached that to a bunch of like metal parts and had it so that you could secure it onto the spine and move a needle around. And
Huh.
that's just how I start out. One time for another project, I'd grabbed like part of a boogie board and like cut it up and use the foam for something. I don't know. It's just using
Hmm.
whatever you have because
Yeah.
I don't have access to a lot of stuff. So
Yeah.
that's why, well, if I get a grant, so if I get some money, then I'm able to spend a bit and actually get proper parts, which is something that I have to keep on doing. And for this project, I still have some more stuff that I have to figure out to make the prototype as clean and as marketable as possible.
Huh. So you're still like, are you gonna like sell this to
That's the plan, but
things?
The steps are kind of ridiculous for getting something actually on the market.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
Because, like, oh, I have this idea, people like it, but then now I need to get a patent. That's going to cost however many thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And then that's going to take a couple of years. Well, once I get the patent, well, I still have to, I can't just, I tested my device on a deer spine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, as one does in my garage.
Of course, yeah.
And then testing that, well, then how do I know if that's going to be good for humans? So I'll have to test on other animals, other humans, actual live animals, live humans. And
Yeah.
the testing is a little ridiculous, but in past projects, I'd done devices that like you implant, like an implant for spinal disc or something like that. But implants, those would take me like 10 years to get onto the market just because
Oh, yeah.
to actually have people say, yeah, you're allowed to do surgery and put this kid's device into your spine. Well, that's
Yeah.
going to take a lot. But just having this device that assists in surgery, then I've got a better chance. So maybe you'll see it on the market.
In 10 years, like.
Yeah, well, hopefully not, but we'll see.
That's so cool that you just, like, looked up, all these random stuff.
Yeah,
and
it's,
figured it all out.
I guess it's a weird passion. Yeah, no, it is definitely a weird
maybe a
passion.
little bit, yeah.
I guess. I don't think about that too much.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's just kind of normal. It's
Yeah.
just in my household, I always just have weird medical stuff laying around, but I never
Huh.
think about it. I just kind of a part of my life.
Have you done anything, like, is there any science projects that you did before that, like, was good or bad or like that?
Well, I've been doing science projects since kindergarten. So
Right. Me too, obviously.
there. Well, it was mandatory at the elementary school I went to, so I'm thankful
Oh,
for that. Yeah,
yeah.
you had to do some. Well, I don't know if it had to be science, but you had to do a project, so and you'd have to present it.
Right.
So I don't know what my first one was. I think it was looking at like water consumption and how much a bath takes, how much water a bath takes, how much water a shower takes, seeing which one's better. Shower. There you go. You learned something now.
Wow.
I think most people would have known that, but still, I did that. Then I looked at like plant growth, the classic science projects. I looked at, I don't know, a bunch of weird things. Looking at electromagnetic radiation from iPads and stuff. I
Oh, yeah.
don't know how that one came up. And then all of a sudden, is at the science fair in Cranbrook. It's with Cranbrook, Fernie, and other places.
Yep.
But you get the opportunity to go to the National Science Fair. So that's held either in Edmonton, like it was this year, or New Brunswick, or someplace. And they fly you out there. You get a week where you just present your project to judges. And as soon as I heard about that, I was motivated. And that's when I really started working. And that's when I was like, this is something that I really want to do and want to keep on doing for years. So then you're saying if there were projects that didn't work out, and actually this project this year. So originally when I was applying for the grant money, I had this completely other project. Well, it wasn't a completely other project. It still involved injections in the spine, but it was still a different goal and different materials and different things like that. So I had applied for the grant, got the money, and then I just ran into a bunch of roadblocks with that project where I could not do anything with it. So then I still had the grant money, so I used that for the new project. I told them about that. I was like, I'm sorry, this project didn't work out. There's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah.
I'll just put it in my pocket for now, maybe take it out another year. But for now, I'm just going to leave that on the table and just say, here it is, but can I use the grant money for this other project?
Yeah.
So then, yeah, it's science. I'm not always going to get the goal that I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, the data sometimes is just going to work. So nothing I can do about that.
So what's your plan for the future?
Oh my gosh. The way you said that. What's your plan for this? Oh my gosh, I don't even know. But actually, I don't know. Like, I'm planning to go to university.
Yeah.
Planning to go to UBC Vancouver.
Okay.
In what? I'm going to probably start with just a general. They have a science program that my brother took, and I know someone else that took. It's super difficult, but it ends up being rewarding. It's kind of just like you have the worst first year of university possible, and then it makes everything else easier. So I'm going to do that, and then after there, I have no idea. I've always been like, oh, I want to do medicine, and I just want to like stay away from all that math and physics and stuff. And then I took physics this year, and I was like, darn it, it's so much fun. And I
I know, right?
was actually enjoying it so much that I'm thinking about trying to branch those two together, where
Oh yeah.
there's medicine, like biology and stuff, and branching it with physics. So yeah, that was kind of not annoying because it's like it's cool that now I have another interest, but it's like, man, I was always just kind of straightforward. I'm going to become a
Yeah.
doctor, well, some type of doctor. And then now I'm just like, oh no, it's this whole other thing. Like, what if I'm just missing out? So
Yeah.
I have no idea. What do you want to do?
Something in physics.
Yeah.
Don't know what yet.
No specifics?
Not really.
Yeah, because
Maybe astronaut, maybe
yeah,
maybe school teacher, like I have no idea.
give me some ideas if you think of anything, because I'm a little lost right now.
Yeah, that's especially for you. Like I feel like there's so many things that you could totally go into.
Yeah, well, it's really just whatever interests me, because there's no way I'm going into something that I'm not going to enjoy. So that's why it's not just physics or something, because maybe I'll make more money. But like, well,
Yeah.
for example, like computer engineering, that's where the money is actually.
Oh
That's
yeah.
what we were always talking about in physics class. Yeah, you could be doing like some other more hands-on physics, or you could be sitting behind a computer, but sitting behind the computer, some people love and you'll make more money. But for me, I've never had an interest in that,
Yeah.
which it's just my personal opinion, but I just never found that I enjoyed it. So I'm not going to go into that. Even if I could be making more money,
Yeah.
I would rather go into medicine or something like that. So yeah, if you find whatever thing in school it is that you love, which I find that schools don't really push that as much,
Yeah.
then you'll have a better chance of doing well in that field. Sure.
Such like expert advice.
Oh gosh, no. Take it lightly. I mean, but yeah, find whatever you love in school. That's what I wish schools did a little bit more, was
Yeah.
really people find more what they love and not just keep us on a certain path that they want.
Yeah, I think it's funny how certain teachers will like really try and push that,
Yeah.
and then others are just like, no, we're doing this, and this is the only thing we're doing.
Yeah. It's nice when you find someone that's really like, yeah, we're doing this, but there's this little branch that we could let you explore a little, because the school should be helping to see what kids
Yeah.
want to do in the future.
All right, so let's get into kite surfing.
Yes. Oh, I've been waiting for this part. No. I enjoy it all, but kite surfing. So not many people are going to know what this is. You probably have no idea, but Google search of
mean-
it, something.
Seen it around, but
But yeah, just kind of an adrenaline water sport that is no gasoline, no motors. It's not behind a boat or anything. Nothing wrong with that, but it's like as if you're paddle surfing, except you just have not more freedom, but it gets your heart rate going a lot.
yeah.
And it's just go, go, go. It's an intense workout. So, I mean, I've been doing it for I don't know how many years, just because my dad was doing it. And
Okay.
it's, no matter what sport I've tried, it always, there's something about it that always just, I don't know why, it just makes me so excited. That's why even just talking about it.
Yeah.
Because there's just so many options in it. Like how, if let's say you're wake surfing, so you're behind a boat, you could wake surf, you could foil behind a boat, you could water ski, you could do wakeboarding. On kiteboarding or kite surfing, they're interchangeable. There's a ton of different disciplines. You could ride with a twin tip, which is what I ride. So you could ride both ways and you do all your jumps and your tricks and stuff. Or you could ride with a surfboard where you're strapless, you ride waves. Or you could do this other discipline called unhooking, which is basically you're like wakeboarding, but you're jumping like 30 feet in the air. So it's one of those sports where it's not just set what you're doing. It's basically you're going to go out to the lake or you're going to go out to the ocean and you just get to do whatever you want. You just get to have the water under your feet and the rest is whatever you want to do. So, yeah.
So, how did you get into it? I guess like because your dad, right?
Yeah. So I always saw my dad doing it. So I always just grew up around it. And then I don't know when it was, but I started like being able to do it on my own, because it's one of those sports which is kind of too bad, but you have to take like hours and hours of lessons before you're actually
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be able to do it. Like you can't just say, "Oh, I'm going to try it."
Yeah.
You actually have to go with lessons or you're going to kill yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
But then all of a sudden something just happened where all of a sudden I was so into it. And then I just started progressing because I just put a lot of time. Then I got to the point where I was like, wow, I could like really get good at this sport because I enjoy it. It's like as if I'm doing a hardcore workout, but it's just so much fun.
Yeah.
Like it's just as if I'm like I don't really like going for runs or something like that. But if there's a sport like I don't know, most people like volleyball. Let's say you're playing volleyball, but now with that passion and that love, imagine you're just getting a ton of work and a ton of pull to your abs and your legs are just getting killed and then just having this crazy workout that by once you get out of the water you just want to go to sleep and just use a massage gun on your abs but then when you're on the water you're just free. Yeah, there's not a better way to describe it. So and now I've just been going really hard at it. That's what I've been doing a lot this summer. Went to Morocco for a month just to kind of train and learn some tricks because there's some crazy wind down in Morocco, like 30 knots, where basically I'm just on the smallest kite possible and I'm just getting dragged across the sand and the sand's just whipping you at the ankles because there's so much wind blowing. So yeah, it's a kind of bizarre sport. It's not for everyone, I think.
Yeah.
But those that get into it and actually enjoy it, there's nothing else.
So, you're calling it like a sport, right?
Yeah.
So, is there like judges or competitions and stuff like that?
Yeah, so I haven't gone into competitions yet. I'm hoping next year I'll go. But yeah, there's this whole it's kind of I actually found that it's kind of like motocross. I don't do motocross, but I know people that do. And it's kind of like that where you would travel to a place and they'll have a competition. So so you go for let's say a weekend to let's say right now there's a competition in Hood River. You go down there, there's an amateur competition. Then all of a sudden there's a pro competition where the pros that are all from like Spain and Greece, they all come down and then they'll do that. So yeah, there's judges. The competitions are kind of crazy. The one that I've gotten into a lot is big air. So basically
Okay.
just jump really high and you do some scary, scary tricks and hope that you land softly. Yeah.
Huh.
But what the pros do in that sport, that's what, if someone asks me, oh yeah, you do kite surfing, is that kind of weird? It kind of seems a little boring, but I'm like,
Yeah.
so I'll show them a video. I'll be like, no, but this isn't it because it's just a video of someone riding. Like, it's not that. Like, what I really like to do is get that adrenaline kick. If I show a video of the pros, they're jumping like 20 meters in the air and doing all these crazy tricks and then hopefully not crashing. So, yeah, if to people that have not seen this sport, you gotta look it up and look at some of the
Yeah.
pros because people miss out. There's lots of sports that people just don't really think about, and especially living in Cranbrook in
Yeah.
Canada, there's not a lot of options. But if you go like in Morocco, sometimes there'll just be like 50 people on the water at a time just kiteboarding. Or in Tarifa,
Wow.
there'll be hundreds. Yeah, hundreds, and it's just a completely different culture, a different lifestyle, but it's the one that I really love. So
That's really cool. Maybe you'll be a pro kite surfer.
you never know. If my body can handle it, then there we
Yeah.
go. I'll do it. So
Exactly.
won't crash too much.
Yeah. All right. So, the title of the episode probably gonna be something like
Oh no.
something like I asked the smartest kid in my school like all these questions. This is how it went. Is there a lot of pressure being really smart?
Pressure from who?
That's a good question.
Oh, that's a great question for me.
Pressure for everyone. Like
Um,
any kind of thing.
Yeah, there is. Most people don't really notice it because, like, yeah, I work really hard. So first of all, I'm just gonna say that I put hours and hours into my schoolwork every night, basically. I put in so much effort. It's not like I'm just going and walking into a class, doing a test, and doing amazing. No,
Right.
I have the work to back that up. But then it's like if I do really well on a test, then all of a sudden people will sometimes kind of treat me a little differently. If they're asking for help, then they'll just kind of want me to do everything. Or if we do a test and I'm like really nervous for it because it's going to be a really hard test. Yeah, I get nervous for tests. Like they're not easy.
Yeah.
There's a reason why not everybody can do very well. It's because it requires a lot of work. So if I'm nervous, people will just be like, "Oh no, it's fine. You're going to get 100 no matter what." I'm like, "But I'm not." Like that's not how it works. I don't just walk in and do that. it just kind of puts more pressure on me, definitely. It's kind of from
Yeah.
everybody. People don't notice it. Like, I'm not going to call someone out for it. They're just being funny and just trying to say something like that. But sometimes it's like, yeah, like maybe I will get 100 on a couple tests, but that doesn't mean that it's just coming easily. In any
Yeah.
class I go into, it's just their teachers handing me back 3-digit number on my test. No, that's not happening every single time. And for my parents, like, I'm lucky. They don't put much pressure on me. Like, I think they didn't even put that much when I was younger, but for some reason, I was just always geared to it's for me, where I put
Yeah.
that pressure on myself, where it's not somebody else. It's just kind of my internal, like, if I get this question wrong, I'm really not happy with myself. And it was never pressure from my parents or from anyone else. It's just I put that pressure on myself, and then now I find that other people end up putting pressure because I've kind of just made that name for myself, where I'm just kind of the person that ends up doing well in school, which I'm happy to do well, but that's why I don't
Yeah.
tell
It's not really a
people
bad thing.
my grades. Like, I don't tell people my grades, but everyone still knows that I do well in class. I have to put in a lot of hours. I don't hang out with friends really during the school year. Like,
Oh, really?
maybe if there's a weekend where I'm not studying, that's pretty much it. It's like, oh, do you want to hang out? Yes, I want to hang out. Can I hang out? No, because I have to study. Or are your parents making you study? No, I have a test. Or it was like the night of Halloween. Oh, do you want to go out? No, I have a test tomorrow. Like, sorry. Like, I would love to. I know it's like once a year we go trick or treating or whatever. I have a test I have to study for.
Yeah.
It's, it's a little tedious, but I
Yeah.
know it's gonna be worth it. Like, once I'm in
Oh,
university,
yeah.
seeing what my brother's doing, like, that's the life I want to live. So it's nothing gonna stop me from doing that if I put the work in.
Yeah. That's so cool. Do you think that your parents like not that they pressured you, but do you think just having them there and all of their accomplishments, do you think that kind of like pushed you to do better yourself?
Oh, of course. Like, it was never like my dad. He was very smart guy. He never would boast about any of his accomplishments. I learned stuff like this year. Like, a few days ago, I learned something new about him, like another accomplishment. I was like, what the heck? No way. But he never would like push it on me and be like, this is what you have to get. No, it's like
Yeah.
whatever you love, you go into that. He did a ton of schooling, but that was just because he took a bunch of different pathways. I don't have to go to school for that long. I don't have to get all these degrees and
Yeah.
all these pieces of paper. No, it's just whatever I end up loving. So, but yeah, I think I'm happy with how it is because that was never putting the pressure on me. It was just me thinking about how he did that, but not because he did that. It's just
Right.
kind of the fact that he did that makes me want to also end up making money where I could travel the world and things like that. So that's kind of my motivation. I'm not just working right now so that I could work in the future. I'm working now so that I will have to work less in the future, be able to travel more and things like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So I have a bit of a funny question.
Oh,
I
no.
think this is why you're laughing when you were reading through my
Oh,
list.
probably. Oh, no, which one was it?
Um. So what do you do like day to day?
Oh, right. Um, okay, so when? Like, are you asking me what I did today? What I do in
Like,
the school year? Or,
yeah. I
like,
mean, like,
my days are different. Like, every day is kind of different. During the summer, it's pretty similar. So I guess I'll just start with the summer.
all right.
This
Yeah.
morning, I just myself a nice breakfast, nice workout, and just kind of chilled for the rest of the day. Played some drums, played some guitar. Um, yeah, and now I'm here. I'm gonna go listen to Mr. Bucher play at the Hideout, and
Oh, cool.
that's it. Then during school, so here we go. This is my Keanu's day broken down. All right, wake up at 7, get ready, go to school. Then at school, I work like the second I get into that room, I'm opening my books, I'm going through my notes, I'm getting ready for whatever lecture the teacher's going to put on today. Then class goes on. Oh, 10 minutes to class. Everyone starts packing up. No, I'm still working. Especially towards the end of the year when I was studying for finals. I'm
Oh, yeah.
studying till that bell. If I'm still on a question, I'm going through the bell and I'll just be late a bit for my next class. Like, I think that's one thing, is that if you really work to the bell, you'll notice a difference. I found a difference just in myself. I was like, wow, I'm really like, there's something different. I really have a bit more motivation, and I'm really putting in the time, and I feel that, and I feel happy that I am putting that work in. Then lunch, I'll hang out with my friends. Sometimes I'll have to study, but I find if anybody's listening to this that does work really hard in school, don't study at lunch. It's just
Yeah,
it's not healthy.
yeah.
And what also isn't healthy is that once you get back from school, take a little break. I usually will play some drums for an hour, have some dinner, and then I'll start studying. And
Yeah.
I'll be studying for, I don't know, let's say school ends at like 3. Let's say I start studying from 5, then I study for an hour, then I'll play a song on the drums, study for another hour, and then I'll do a few hours. The most important thing about my schedule, every single time during school, I never go to bed later than 10.
Okay.
10 o'clock. Never studying later than 9. The second like I see the clock hit that, I'm like, okay, I'm putting my books down. Anything else I do is gonna be garbage work.
Right. Okay.
Because, like, yeah, maybe I'm not actually that tired, but it doesn't matter. Just put the books away, put your phone away, go, like, I don't know, have a nice shower, and then go to bed. When people are like, oh yeah, I studied so hard for this. I was just up at 1 in the morning studying for this. I'm like, oh, like, that's not healthy. Like, yeah, study lots, but that's not good study habit. Because studying more doesn't mean studying better. It doesn't mean that you're learning anymore. It doesn't mean you're going to do better on the test. I found that in physics, that,
Yeah.
like, because Mr. Whalen gave us this textbook that we would be able to get questions from, and there's just hundreds of questions for every unit. And I'd just be going through, and I'm like, oh my gosh, these are such difficult questions. Then all of a sudden, I see my clock go to 9 o'clock. I'm like, I still have a ton more questions. I have a test tomorrow. I'm just putting that laptop down, and I'm going to bed. I'm not gonna just keep on grinding my brain with these questions, because then tomorrow I'm gonna be fried, and my brain's not gonna be too happy for that test. So I would study less than most people. I'm gonna say I am fortunate that I do have, I guess I am smart. Like, I was fortunate enough that I'm able to learn things very quickly.
Yeah.
So yes, it is a lot of work, but I am very lucky to be able to learn like that. But I also have good study habits. So not just about the amount that I study lots, and I also go to bed early.
Yeah.
I'm gonna admit that. But also just like how you study. Like, for different classes, like for biology, it'd just be cue cards. I'd just write down my notes, read them, write down the note again, read it, like things like that. And then for physics, I could read a textbook all day if I wanted to, and it's not going to do anything. If you just give me a question and I work it out, then there we go. That's where I'm going to get all my knowledge. But the thing is that everybody's different. So some people will ask me, oh, how do you study? They'll be like, oh yeah, I tried that and it didn't work. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. There's not much I could do. It's just about trying different things and seeing if it works. So yeah, and it depends what classes you're in. I study differently for different classes. Especially like physics and math are going to be very different than
Yeah.
biology and chemistry. But the biggest thing is that you put that time into it.
Yeah. So you said you were quick to pick things up, right?
Yes.
So I have a question.
I'm lucky about it.
I have a question. Have you ever played chess?
I have played chess.
Yeah.
If you point at the different chess pieces, probably going to get most of them right.
Okay. Okay.
Uh-oh. If you point at certain ones, I will get them wrong. If you challenge me to a game of chess, I will lose. But I've never put time into learning how to. It's always just been like, my dad just taught me how to play chess, and if there's a chessboard at, like, I don't know, an airport or hotel or something, here, let's play a game of chess. I'm not like strategizing, but so you want to see if I could learn chess or something like that?
Yeah, I think it would be cool because I got into chess like last December.
A lot of people have gotten into.
Yeah, recently there was a huge chess boom.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it was. I guess it's on or Instagram Reels and stuff. You always see Magnus Carlsen or whatever his name is. I think just people all were like, "Wow, he's so cool."
Yeah.
All of a sudden, people started playing chess. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, but basically, I got pretty good.
Oh,
I'm better than most of my friends.
Okay.
I beat all of them.
Is there a chess tournament? Wasn't there a chess tournament?
There was, actually. That's where I got that.
You won it?
No, that's third place.
Oh, okay. Hey, that's pretty good though. I don't know. There's a lot of weird things that I'll dedicate my time to sometimes, and I feel like one of these days it's gonna end up being chess.
Yeah.
But then I feel like it's just gonna be in my brain all the it's all
Oh, it
those weird
is.
strategies and things like that. I'll be going to sleep and I'll be like, I could move there, and I'll be like, whoa, whoa, what am I doing? Like, if when it's school time, I'll be like, whoa, 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 no, I should be thinking about my books and things like that, not chess. But
I think that it might have decreased my grades a little bit.
yeah, but
I bet there's a statistic.
hey,
Exactly.
that's
Exactly.
yeah, that's worth it. That's worth a couple percentages down.
Yeah, exactly. I need that little piece of plastic over there.
Hey, it's cool.
It is pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, the first place was a king, like a
Yeah.
king piece, and then the second place was queen. So the third place is kind of the coolest.
Yeah, I mean, I would. Of course, I'm gonna
Yeah, exactly.
knight. See?
And I worked the hardest for it. So
Yeah, exactly. So you could basically say I'm like the best chess player. Just I
Just,
didn't
like, not
win.
really.
I just didn't win, and they'll be like, "What?"
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so right. So
I'm
there was
third,
Isaac,
but-
and then
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think it'd be cool to see how fast that you would get into it.
Yeah. So do you just like watch YouTube videos of like how to
Yeah.
the different an opening?
Yeah, so there's a lot of openings
Yeah.
to study. There's lots of tactics and stuff like that. There's openings, middle game, and end game. There's so many things.
Yeah, it does sound like something I would probably like to pick up, and
Yeah.
maybe could pick it up quickly.
Yeah, I feel like you should like keep it away until like after college.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then get into it. Just
And then all of a sudden, it's gonna just take up my life, and I'll get really good
Yeah.
at it, and I'll become like a pro chess player. But yeah, I mean, that's why I've always pushed it away. I'm like, one of my friends is always like, okay, I want to teach you how to play chess because he's good at chess. And I'm always like, no, because then I'm just gonna get hooked on it because
yeah.
I'm just such a nerd that I know that like all those weird things, Rubik's cubes and things like that, they're just gonna
Yeah.
they would just hook me.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the game because there's like so much progression in it. You know, like
Yeah.
you can be
Okay.
good at chess, but be like totally like terrible compared to like so many people.
Okay. Yeah, see,
Right?
I don't play enough chess to really realize those things. I just lose every time. So
Yeah.
it's like it doesn't matter who I'm playing, I lose. So it's
Yeah. Do you think that your smarts are like genes, or you think it's mostly like dedication, and then like just lucky to pick it up like quick?
I wouldn't say lucky. Well, okay, let me just think first. Because of obviously part of it I think has to be gene because there's just some things that like the fact that my brother and I both do well in school and things like that, it's kind
Yeah.
of like just like yeah, we both work really hard, but like there's only so much with how our parents could have raised us where both of us would be so great and none of us like usually it's like I don't know, sometimes the younger brother will be deterred or sometimes the older brother will just be like, "Oh, the younger brother's better" or something like
Yeah.
and get deterred. I found that a lot with siblings. But then my brother and I to both be doing school and him to just be crazy in university, then I'm sure some of it's genes, but also, yeah, it still does end up having to do with how our parents had raised us, just because
Yeah.
we ended up being curious and we would always ask questions, always trying to learn new things. And I guess just that never stopping learning new things. Like we would never stop learning new things. It would be like every day, um, we'd learn something else just because, well, my dad's a doctor, so he always has something to teach us. So I think that's really helpful. If it's just a normal desk job, there's only so much that he's going to teach us. Yeah, he could teach
Right.
us lots about life, but for actual like books, like textbooks and stuff, then he could teach. That's where he could really teach a lot. So there's that. And then for learning things quickly, my dad learns things very quickly. So I got a bit of that. And definitely lucky to be like for learning sports. I was lucky to like I guess born kind of athletic, but not
Yeah.
compared to my brother. He incredibly lucky, but
Yeah.
yeah. Um, then for learning things in school, I think just as I've learned so much, I've learned how to learn. I'm able to
Yeah.
really understand different ways of like if a teacher hands us like a booklet, then I could read and learn from there. Or if they're just talking, I'll pick it up and I'll keep it in my brain. Or yeah, things like that. So kind of hard to give a definitive answer, but I think it's kind of just a bunch of things. It's
Yeah.
luck, it's genes, it's everything. But the thing that's not luck is me actually doing well in school.
Yeah.
Like, because that comes from hard work, I think.
Yeah. So we got some called philosophical questions.
Oh, philosophical questions.
Yeah. Okay. Um. So, what is or will be your gift to the world?
Wow. Okay. Well, I hope to make just a lot of little differences that will hopefully end up going a long way, like making a medical device that could help people.
Yeah.
I think that's one way that I'll be able to make a difference. And well, it also depends what I end up doing in my life. If I end
Yeah.
up being a physician, like a doctor and helping people, well, that's one thing that I'm helping people. And that's why I want to go into medicine. Yeah, I'm interested in like the way that we work and how my heart's working right now, but I do really enjoy helping people. When I was making those medical devices and I'd have people tell me, "Oh, I know somebody that had this problem and you'd be able to help them." That makes me so happy and that really refuels me. And what else? I mean, it's gonna sound so cliche, but I don't know. Happiness. I'd like to make people happier. I try and do like almost all the stuff that I do to make people happy. Like even if I'm just walking down the street and somebody walking, I'll say hi to them. Or there's like an older person, I'll try and start a little conversation. Hopefully they'll end up smiling by the end. So just little things like that. I don't think anybody's gift to the world has to be something huge. You don't have to winning a Nobel Prize for something. It has to be these little things that if everybody does them, well then all of a sudden you have these billion little things that are gonna help it.
Yeah. Like the little things that make the biggest difference.
I think so. And yeah, I think there's kind of this misconception where I know a lot of people in Cranbrook that kind of aren't doing too much. Like they don't do too much in school, which I mean, that's okay. There's plenty of other opportunities. But sometimes it's kind of like, oh, because I'm not going to become a doctor like you, Keanu. Well, you don't have to. You have to do, you
Yeah.
don't even have to go to university. But if you make just these little differences, you're talking to someone like when you're walking down the sidewalk, just little things like that, I think that makes a difference. Yeah, you're not like that's not going to be your job in the future, but little things like that don't have to be related to work. Again, it's just kind of I think what human life should just be. I don't think
Yeah.
it should have to be just geared towards work, like I said before. I think if we kind of just close off our brains, like when I'm out of school and when I'm like on lunch break, let's say, I kind of don't want to be thinking about school. There's
Yeah.
other things. Shouldn't be consuming my life, especially not in high school. That's another thing. I have to get into that about how like it's high school. Like yeah,
Yeah.
work hard, but if your goal is to go into university, then don't take the easiest classes to get into university by getting a better grade because they're an easier class.
Yeah.
No, you should be taking a harder class that like you had talked with Nick, I think.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah, you should do harder classes, but it should be because you're going to learn more. I didn't want to take a lot of the hard classes that I took this year. I knew that my grades aren't going to be as good as usual. Well, it doesn't matter because I work hard. Well, for one, it's always going to pay. You're going to really
Yeah.
put the effort. Even if you're not getting good grades, it's going to pay off because you're going to be learning something anyways. But what I'm doing in physics, I'm not just trying to get a good grade because it's really difficult.
Yeah.
It's not an easy class, but I'm learning so that when I'm in university, I'll already know and things like that.
Yeah.
So there, I got into it a little.
So I have a question that I probably should have asked earlier. What's it called? You like switched grades.
Oh yeah, I actually like I never talk about like myself and like school and how I do well. That's why I try and like not tell people too much. That's why
Yeah.
I'm like not gonna tell you like my grades or anything on the
Yeah, no, I
podcast. Okay. Um. So I just went into school early. I don't know.
oh.
If you knew me, if anybody knew me in elementary school, they would think I'm a completely different person. I was just this little robot. Like I was just like the most. I don't even know because I was a passionate kid, but I was so robotic. Have you ever seen The Big Bang Theory?
Yeah.
Sheldon, that's basically me. That was basically I was just like a little version of him. And I was so much in fact that before kindergarten, when I was supposed to still be in like pre-K or whatever it is,
Yeah.
I just said, Mom, Dad, I want to go to kindergarten now. I don't want to just like stay like rolling these marbles around. I want to go into kindergarten. So they made an arrangement with the teacher and was like, okay, if he does this, I had to do a test. I don't know what it was, but apparently it was like a
Yeah.
couple hours or something.
Oh, dang.
So then I did that, and then they're like, okay, you could go into kindergarten. I was like, yay. That was just because that was something I wanted to do. And the whole thing with skipping grades, I don't know. Everyone's always so fascinated about it. They're like, wow, you must be super smart. I'm like, like that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Like it. I don't think there's really a difference in us. Like what matters is the maturity. I've been with people your age
Yeah.
my entire time, so there's no difference. It's just what my age is on a piece of paper. That's the only difference.
Exactly.
So it's never like, oh, you do so well in school and you're a year younger. Like, don't treat it like that. I just do well in school. I just happen to
Yeah.
have just gone into school early.
Yeah,
And if yeah.
I think it would be a lot different if you like skipped a grade in grade 10.
Well, no, even then, like they had asked, like the high school had asked me if I grade 9 instead just go to grade 10.
Oh,
I was
really?
like, well, I'm already a year younger. I'm already not gonna get my driver's license like so much
Yeah.
later. It's like if I do that, then I'm missing another year with my friends. Because yeah, like yeah, I do well in school, but I still love hanging out with my friends. Like in the
Yeah,
summer, that's
exactly.
kind of what I do. So I'm not gonna sacrifice a whole year of my like being with my awesome friends just so that I could go hit the book some more.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a really good like message. Like I think it's really good that you did that too.
Yeah,
Cuz also you would have to basically miss all your friends.
yeah, it
Yeah. Have to, make a bunch of new friends. And
yeah,
also like for university, like you wouldn't even have your full license, right?
yeah,
Until
that's true.
like probably after your first year.
That would be
So,
very
yeah,
embarrassing.
and it would suck
It would
too.
just yeah, it would just be annoying. But it ended up like my parents just asked me, "Do you want to?" As an academic standpoint, yes, I want to. I don't want to be doing science 10. But then or science 9, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then I was like, but from like I'm still a kid, like I was only whatever age I was. It's like why? Like there's no point. My dad when he was in high school, like yeah, he was done high school at like, my age. He was already going to university, but that's because he wanted to. He just,
Right.
I don't know, he just wanted to go and become a big boy. But like, I could do that, but I just don't feel like it. I don't feel any rush. So, like the situation my brother's in, never skipped a grade. He could have. My brother's super smart and does so well in all school, but he's living a great life. Like, it's not gonna. That 1 year is not gonna make a
Yeah,
difference
exactly.
at all. So
Yeah,
the
it's
only
better.
difference it makes is negatively for my social life.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's better to keep the maximum amount of years in your childhood as possible.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think definitely, but also like there's a limit to that. Like I know Cranbrook is a bit of a party place for sure. People
Yeah.
do like to party and have a good time when they're young, which that's okay with. Like go to parties, whatever.
Yeah.
But as long as you don't, which a lot of people sadly will do, is kind of sacrifice, not sacrifice your future. There's plenty of opportunities.
Yeah.
But it's like I want to just party hard and live like a crazy life right now, or do I want to stay in school, do very well in school, go to university. Not everybody has to, of course, but that's my choice. Go to university, get a high-paying job, or some job that at least I love, where
Yeah.
I'm happy. I can get days off, and I can travel. Well, yeah, I'm gonna choose to travel rather than have to stay in Cranbrook and party. Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather go and kite surf in some other place in Spain. Like, I don't know, but down to whatever some people want. Maybe they would rather not be adults when they're like be out of school late 20s, and then that's when life starts. But I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
So
Do you have any rules against like drinking?
yeah, so personally, I don't drink. I'm not planning on drinking, like, even in university. I whenever I go to, well, I don't really go to parties because I don't like the scene. Like,
Yeah.
I would never drink at a party, and it would end up me babysitting people that are drinking. So
Yeah.
I find that, like, when I have, because of course, people I know, people in my classes, they all drink. But so if you're drinking responsibly, you're making sure you have like designated driver and things like that. Okay. Like, I'm
Yeah.
never going to judge somebody for drinking. People have stuff at home and they end up, some people just have unfortunate situations, which is why. But if you do have like a good life and you have, I'm not sure like the best way to put it, but as long as you're not hurting yourself or not gonna jeopardize something that could happen in the future, and you're still creating a good image for yourself, then I think that's good, because you don't want to, yeah, you might not become a doctor, but what if you're just trying to get a desk job and they check your background and you're just this crazy drinker and have done terrible
Exactly.
things because of it? Well, then there's that. And then for drugs, like, obviously, Cranbrook's crazy how many vape stores and stuff they have.
Yeah.
But like the whole vaping thing, I don't I don't understand it for
Yeah, me
sure.
either.
Like, I understand, like, I don't know, I guess some people, yeah, they have bad home life and stuff, and they have like an
Yeah.
escape by doing that. Okay, fair enough. But like, if you're trying to do very well in a sport, like, I know we're a hockey town, but like, not like trying to name any hockey players. I'm just saying in general, just for sports and people.
Yeah.
If you're serious and you want to get into university or get into college or do something with a sport, it cannot be vape. You're not gonna become a crazy athlete if you are. So yeah, that's something. Then for the other drugs, so just I guess I just don't understand it. My
Yeah.
parents don't drink. They never done drugs. Never like it. I'm just kind of sheltered where I don't quite understand. So that's why I
Yeah.
just kind of keep an open mind. If I see someone, I'm like, that's okay. Yeah. Like, people at school, it's like, yeah, that's completely fine. As long as you're not doing it with me, as long as you're not like
Like
vaping in my
pressuring me.
face or, yeah, telling me to drink, then we're okay. So then I think that's completely fine. And I think that's something like everybody that I've talked to, none of them have ever thought about like pressuring me or saying like, oh, do you want to drink? No,
Yeah.
none. They're always super chill about it. And if they ever did ask me, I would just say no and still be friends. It's kind of the best way. I don't know. Kind of a difficult thing. I just never saw the interest in any of that stuff. I think it's good. It's not like my parents were ever saying like, "Oh my gosh, I'll kill you if you do." Like, yeah, they probably would, but
Yeah.
it's always just they raised me to not, for my reason not to drink should not be because my parents are saying no.
Yeah.
It should be because I want to keep a good image for myself. I don't want to put that in my body.
Yeah.
So I think that was a great way for my parents to have ended up raising me.
Yeah.
It's good.
Want to talk about your drums at all?
My drums. Oh yeah, we never even talked about music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
It's a whole nother thing.
that is a whole other thing. So yeah, I guess for the big things that consume my life, we got school, got the science fair innovations, kiteboarding, and drums. Well, music, I guess. Finally, I'm gonna take music comp this year.
Oh yeah.
Both semesters I have it lined up because I
Nice.
have never had time. Like, my grade 11 year was just difficult, hard classes. But now I only have like 3 classes or something. So I was like, oh, I'll take music comp.
Yeah.
there we go. I'm
The
really
opposite
excited
for
for that.
me. I'm taking
Yeah,
I'm taking a bunch of art classes this year.
yeah. Well, I think next year I'll be tutoring some people for those classes because I need to like now that
Yeah.
I took them in grade 11, I have to remember the stuff that I learned in them, like
Yeah.
all the stuff from physics and math or whatever. I have to remember that stuff, so
Yeah.
I'll help people out. So if you ever need help, send me a text.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to help for whatever class you have, unless it's philosophy. um, yeah. So for music, I don't know why. I mean, you sing. Do you play an instrument? No, but like,
Not that invested.
but still, you probably still have that. You probably still love music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how much you listen to music, but for me, it's just like I have my AirPods in my pocket. Why did I bring my AirPods? I don't know. Just in case I end up listening to music. I just always love listening to music. I love playing music. I'm really bad at playing instruments besides the drums.
Yeah.
I've been not learning guitar. I've been playing songs on the guitar, and I kind of know some of the chords. But the only reason I'm playing guitar is because I just really enjoy it, and if I have a bass, if I know the basics of an instrument where I could like my own like little guitar riff or I could play a little lick on the piano, then that's all I need to be able to make a little bit of music.
Yeah.
That's what's always great. And I do love the drums so much, and I think that was the best instrument I could have picked up. But it is kind of annoying because with drums, it doesn't matter how good of a drummer I am, I can't get a gig just as a drummer. Like I can't just
Yeah.
like if I can't sing, I can't dance, then I'm not just gonna go somewhere and play drums, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like you singing, you can get people love hearing your voice because you have such a great voice, but then no one's just gonna listen to drums.
Yeah.
But people would listen to guitar, people would listen to like other things, but
Yeah.
drums I still love so much because they're really free. Yeah, every other instrument is free in its own sense, but drums are the one thing that just do whatever you want in any song. Like for singing, yeah,
Yeah.
you have these lyrics you have to follow. It's basically like if it was
Yeah.
drumming, you wouldn't have lyrics. It would be like you're just singing the weirdest
Scat.
noises. Exactly. The little scats and things like that where you're just completely making it up. But then rather than that, it actually sounds like it fits the song really well. So yeah.
Interesting. I think also with the drums, um, like I mean, especially for my friend Barrett,
Yeah.
he has lots of trouble with the drums because like, um, he doesn't like improvise well,
Oh yeah.
right? So then it's like, basically all he has to do is just like remember like all of these different solos, like drum solos and stuff like that. That kind of thing.
Well, I'm sure I did. Oh no, I definitely did. Yeah. I know I did, but then like I don't know how many years I've been playing it. Like a couple years in
Yeah.
elementary, all of middle school, and now all of high school. When you just play it so much, it just becomes like it's kind of bizarre. Like I was playing just earlier this morning and just from playing a lot doesn't mean that you have to be playing the most ridiculously difficult songs. I don't play that difficult of songs. But just to be so comfortable sitting in a groove and just playing along and listening to a lot of drumming, and all of a sudden you're just gonna learn it. Like you could tell that to
Yeah.
Barrett. Like it's not like yeah, learn a bunch of fills. That's what I did. But then eventually it's just gonna be you're just gonna be making stuff up while you play. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna have no idea what fill. You're not even gonna be playing anything that you could even transcribe in like afterwards. You'll
Yeah.
never play it again either. That's what's kind of funny. You'll probably never play that same solo again, but it's just because you're making it up. So yeah, I mean, it's the same for probably every instrument and
Yeah.
almost everything you do. You just put a ton of hours into it, and all of a sudden, it's just gonna become normal to you. Or all those things that you struggled with, you're just doing without even
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah, it's really interesting being in vocal jazz. You see, like especially for me, because like I'm going into my third year of it, right?
Yeah.
And it's really cool to see how people like progress, you know?
Oh yeah.
And like even
Right.
myself, like my first year, there's so many things that like I don't even know how I was doing it like not right, you know? Like just because I'm so used to it now,
Okay.
you know? And and yeah, like my range, right? Like it's crazy how different it is, right? And I mean, like that's also because of
Well, you're eight, and like you're getting
yeah,
older.
yeah,
You're
because
gonna
of
keep
like
on sounding
maturing and
better.
stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, but it's just really interesting to see.
Yeah, well, gosh, every time I hear you, I'm like, wow, really good. But he's also getting better. Like every single
Yeah.
time I hear him sing, it's pretty awesome. Excited to hear you guys this year. Maybe I'll write a song and you'll have to sing it.
Oh.
So I don't know what I'm gonna do in music comp. Just gonna make it really music heavy, but then I was always gonna have Garen sing, but then I was never in music.
Oh.
He's leaving, which
Yeah.
is too bad. So maybe I'll get you. Go.
Maybe. So I kind of wanted to touch on is that I guess Nick is creating a band.
Yes,
So I heard that you guys had a meeting.
we did have a meeting.
How did that one go?
Went really well. He's just such a great
I
guy.
know,
Like,
right?
yeah, well, you had the podcast with him. He's just such. There's something about him you could tell that like, man, he's gonna make it. Like,
Yeah.
people have to gravitate towards that because there's something so intriguing about him. Like every
Yeah.
time I talk to him, it's like, what the heck? I just learned something. Like,
Yeah.
it's really awesome. So for a band, it's just kind of like he just has these ideas about music that it's like even if he couldn't play an instrument, those ideas themselves are just like, wow, you could like you could sell those ideas to people because they're so great. But then he's also a really talented musician, so it's gonna be really interesting. We're gonna hopefully we'll get a couple gigs going.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Look out for that. We're just
So what is the band? Just you and him?
That's what we're starting with. So
Okay.
like we kind of have like it's kind of almost hard to explain because when we're jamming at school, like in jazz band or something, or sometimes we'll just have a little band together. It was for choir,
Oh yeah.
like it was like with like Isaac, James, and Nick on bass.
Yeah.
Then like we'll just jam, and that's so much fun. That like if we had all of those guys, it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So then, but then to get gigs, that's the problem with Cranbrook. Like, when I travel
Yeah.
places, it's awesome. I've just walked into bars and they've let me just play on the drums.
Oh really?
Yeah. But then Cranbrook doesn't have much. Like,
Yeah.
and if we do have it, it's not going to be what we want to be playing. Like, we want to really like be playing some driving music, or even just I play drums. They're loud. Not every restaurant's going to want to hear that.
Yeah.
So that's why we have a little like program, I'll call it, about how we're gonna progress and then eventually put on a good show for grad showcase. That's gonna
Oh
be something,
yeah.
yeah. But how to
That's
get
cool.
some gigs and to get gigs with a full band, just gonna, I'm not gonna say everything. We'll just start with just like some simple percussion and start. Then we put in a guitar, and then we electric guitar, and then we just slowly build it where the community and the restaurants like trust us and that we're playing good music that people enjoy. And then from there, now we're playing like full on rock little gigs or something. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
But yeah, there's lots of options. So we're just trying to figure out the best way to do it in Cranbrook because it's kind of unlucky that people don't have that love for music. But the people that
Yeah.
do love it, it's
Yeah.
pretty powerful. So,
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, because there's such a divide there.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. It doesn't blend too well. It's kind of people that like, oh yeah, the music kids. But then you're like, look at the music kids. Like look at you. Look at Ricky. Like
Yeah.
they were so awesome. Like everybody's so great and they're all talented. But I don't think enough people recognize it. That's why we're so lucky to have Mr. B. Like, I don't think most people realize how lucky we are to have
Yeah.
him because
Crazy.
it just kind of makes everybody's life better and easier. All of us musicians were like, if we had any other high school in Canada for a high school, like, we wouldn't have that good of a music program. We're lucky.
Pretty crazy.
He is. If you can get him on the podcast, oh my gosh.
I mean, he's already said yes, but
Oh
it's
yeah,
gonna
you
be,
just gotta set that up.
and I gotta have like good questions
Oh
and stuff
yeah,
like that. Like,
I would love to learn about him because
yeah.
he's just, I don't know, he's such a great guy. So I don't think I would have had such a love for music if it wasn't for him. I was kind of like, yeah, I played drum. It was just in, I guess, grade 10 I started to work on it pretty hard just kind of because of him. And then now it's just like during school. It's like, well, and now I guess still every single day I'll be putting in a few hours.
Yeah.
I think just this morning I was just trying to work on a song that was just the worst. The thing with drums too, again, so same with every instrument. I just don't play the other instruments, so I don't like know. But it uses your brain so much. And drums, you would think, no, it's just like whack, whack, stick, whack on this drum, whack on that. But just like how much thinking you have to do when you're trying to play something where your foot's doing one thing, this foot's doing the other thing, this arm's doing one thing, this is doing something, and then you also have to play it with the song. It just like, especially when like, yeah, there's straightforward beats, just like your classic rock beat. Then I was playing like some like one. Have you seen Whiplash?
No.
Okay, well, there's this one song from it at the end. It's called Caravan, and it just has like the bass is just going. Like that's what your foot's doing like the whole time, just tap, 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 tap. But then your other foot is just going steady. Then your other hand is also just playing it, but faster, and it's just my brain gets twisted. But then all of a sudden, I'll just be playing, and then after like an hour or two, it'll just click. And I'm just playing it. Then I'll come back to it like another day, and I could play it. Like I find that so cool. It's like same with guitar, like because I don't know, I'm not very good at playing chords or things like that. But if I'm playing like a fingerstyle guitar, I'll be like, oh my gosh, this is impossible. Like my fingers are so uncoordinated. I don't know how to get these chords. And then I'll just start playing them. Like I'll start playing the song. Then I'll play it after like 2 hours. All of a sudden, I'm just able to play it, and it just becomes like muscle memory. And that's another awesome thing. So excited for music comp.
Yeah.
Something I've always wanted to do. I feel like I'm going to be really bad at making music, but let's hope not. But yeah, if I could get you to sing on some of them, then it'll complete it.
Like an Escape F12 and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Calculus.
I'll pull you. I know the teacher.
Are you doing calculus?
I did it last year, yeah. Mr. Hamilton's the only teacher next for calculus.
Is he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Mr. Oh, or is yeah, I think it's just I know Mr. Burgess isn't there next year. But yeah, so if you need any help.
Yeah, how is that?
What should I say? I don't know. What should I say? There's nobody giving me a go ahead of what I should say. No, it was good. I don't know. There's some things that are just brutal. And then some things that are really fun, really fun. It's just the midterms. I don't like how they did the midterms. Like, well, yeah, it's like good for learning, but like I studied way harder than I would for a normal test. But I just don't like them because they're so difficult. So, yeah. I think I probably wrote one of the questions on the midterm.
Really?
They let us write some of them. So I'm not going to tell anybody, but so I just can't wait for guys to like come crying to me like that midterm was so difficult. This one question I'll be like, oh, I remember that one. I remember that one. But yeah, I'll probably tutor people. Gives people some help so that I remember the stuff. Like I might be a useless tutor. I can learn or relearn the stuff. But yeah, you'll be fine. Don't worry. What else are you taking?
I'm taking all the things. I'm taking physics 12.
Yeah, like
English 12.
You liked physics 11?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Okay, then
yeah, I was
like
great in that
you actually
class.
like liked the work and like
yeah, I was teaching everyone else at my table.
You're gonna love physics 12. Okay, I shouldn't say that because you're gonna be mad if it's not. But no, I think you'll love it. I think you'll be happy because I enjoyed doing it. Like I enjoy the physics.
Yeah.
Like yeah, it's a tough class, but
like the brain hurting.
I don't know. I think I just got kind of lucky with physics. I didn't find it as terrible as I guess I should have, but I don't know. I think I was just a little lucky. I put in a lot of work.
Yeah.
And one thing is that just the way Mr. Whalen taught, it just worked with me.
Yeah, that's one big thing. There's a lot of people that physics just doesn't work for them.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, it's just the way he teaches. And I'm like, maybe it's like with you it doesn't work, but there's a chance that it's just the way that you're trying to grasp it isn't working.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to do with like the way the teacher's teaching it, but like if I'm not trying to figure out how I can learn from the teacher and how I could get what they're saying, and make it whatever's going to work with me and whatever's going to stick with me, then I guess it's kind of just the best way to do it, to figure out how the teacher's teaching, how it can work for you. So like physics 11, it worked the way, and you'll be good. Have to put in the work and try and enjoy it. Gosh, I was like stressing that first for that first unit, so scared. I was like, oh my god, this is the hardest class ever. You're gonna just be like so like dying because I already had all my other classes. Then I was just like did it, and I was like, okay, that's not too bad. Everyone's like, okay, that was the easiest unit. The next unit's gonna be harder. And then to the point where like I would do a really hard unit, and I was like, oh, that was not like as good as I wanted the test to go. And then it'll be like, oh, just wait till this unit, and then it's just gonna kill you. Don't think about that. Like, I'll probably tell it to you. I'll be like, this unit's gonna kill you, but but no, just like don't listen to anyone that says that. Just try and enjoy the physics that you're doing. Like, I think I can say that to you. Like, maybe the other people that are gonna take it, I wouldn't say that to, but just try and enjoy whatever you're doing because it's so applied. I love it. It's like I'm able to just calculate this. Like, what the heck? Like, especially in oh gosh, I'm talking so much about school. But you get into like the gravitation unit and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm calculating like how much energy it's going to take to like send this rocket off to like this planet or to like send it like to get to escape our orbit and our gravitational pull. It's like, what the heck am I doing? Like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
This is like some interstellar stuff. I love it. Yeah.
I think that's why I love physics best.
Yeah.
It's because it's like, it's hard like math, and it basically is math, except you actually use it.
You use it. And the math, like, it's because the math in physics 11 was like the most basic algebra you do.
Yeah.
But then in physics 12, it's like still the basic math, but then now you're looking at it from another dimension. So it's just kind of cool. It's not like too difficult, which is why I'm kind of scared for university if I were to take physics. Because then the stuff I learned in calculus, if I were to do physics with that, that would be difficult, like really difficult. Yeah. But physics 12 you'll do. So enjoy it.
Well, it's been great having you on the podcast.
It's been great answering some questions.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to ask you. So
I don't have anything to ask you. Just thank you for being a good host. It was nice to have a good chat. It's been, I don't know, been a pretty chill summer, so it's good to kind of talk about things like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's awesome that I got to have you on the podcast.
Yeah, I was happy. Hopefully anybody that listens will learn something maybe. Hopefully they'll take like, don't take me like too seriously. Like the stuff that I say, don't like practice it religiously, but like if you have any other questions like for other people, just like come and talk to me and I'll help you out in school. I'll help you with whatever you need. If you want to figure out how to study better, just shoot me a text. Like I try and be approachable. It just happens to be that during school I'm like very focused on my work, and if I'm doing something and you ask me something, I need to finish my work first. So just you send me a text and it's like, oh, okay, there we go. Now I could just answer you. Like if you just send me something on Snapchat, I'll draw you a little picture on Snapchat of how to solve this question. Like I'm happy doing that. But yeah, as long as people are able to approach me and ask me questions, that's
pretty cool. All right.
Thank you very much.
Well, bye-bye. That's the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
Right.
Been a ride.
Yeah. I guess hope that I can have you on again sometime.
Please just ask me. This is awesome. Yeah, maybe there'll be something where you're like, oh, I should have asked him about that.
Yeah, exactly.
And we could have a whole other conversation about it.
I mean, maybe when we like start college and university and stuff like that.
Oh,
too.
for sure. Yeah, I'll have some stories after my first year. I'll be broken. I'll be a different person. I won't be smiling so much.
Yeah, me too.
No, we'll see. Where are you planning to go?
So I want to go to U of A. But I think I'm gonna apply at like every university I can.
Oh, but U of A's Edmonton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there. I was at U of A like sometime during the school year for the science fair.
Oh, really?
We were at U of A, and it's like for physics and stuff. Sweet.
Yeah.
Got to see some cool rockets and some. Yeah, they've got like.
Oh, nice.
I'm not gonna go there because they don't have their science and like this for the stuff that I want, the more medicine stuff, it's good, but their physics is really where like that's what they
Yeah.
were always bragging about that university.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, like we had this person who like is now like an astronaut and this is an astrophysicist. And I'm like, okay, it's definitely a physics school, so
Yeah.
it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I really want to go there.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm really scared that my grades this year are gonna be like not that great because I have such a hard like workload. So I might not get in.
Just don't psych yourself out about that. Just as the work comes, just do the work and ask me if you have any like questions that you like actually need answered. But like, don't sweat it. Like,
Yeah.
please don't sweat it. Like that's what I did all of last year. I was like thinking so much about the class, and then even while I'm in the class, I'm like, oh, but this next unit's gonna be really difficult. And still, it's like, oh my gosh, but now this unit's gonna be difficult. Oh, but now next year's gonna be difficult. Do it as it comes. If it is too much, then there's plenty of people that.
Yeah.
I wish someone would have told me that. But whatever. Thank you very much.
Yeah.